lesson for simple science. In the beginning, God made them male and female. And everyone here today is here as a result of male and female. The second science lesson I will give you today is abortion is murder. Abortion is murder because the body that's in your body is not your body. Again, abortion is murder because the body that's in your body is not your body. That's simple. That's simple science. Simple science. That the body that's in your body is not your body. Right? That's simple science. Simple science.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Yep.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
You got your camera on?
Yep,
All right,
I do.
Good. So here's the thing. These folks have rented this space, okay? This is within their realm of control. So they have the ability to ask you guys to leave, at which point you need to vacate this area or you will be in violation of the Minnesota's trespass. I fully respect your right and ability to protest under the First Amendment. However, we have been given very specific instructions from our attorney on what area they control with the permit, and that is this area. So here's the deal. They're okay with you being here. They're not saying that you have to leave, but the speaker is disruptive to them. And if that continues, then they're going to ask you to leave, at which point we have to ask you to leave.
Okay. So, first of all, what you're saying is that if that you're going to trespass me off of...
No, I'm not going to trespass you. They're going to trespass.
Okay. So what you're saying is that they have the ability or they have the legal right to trespass me off of this property.
Correct.
Okay. And you're going to recognize what you believe is their legal right to trespass me off of this property.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So if I don't leave this property, what do you go? If I don't leave this property and I stand right here and express my First Amendment right to be here, what are you going to do to me?
If they decide that you are disruptive to their event and they want you trespass, they ask you to leave, and at that point, if you refuse to depart, you will be arrested.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that if you decide to honor their right to express or to trespass me off of here, that you're going to recognize their right, and that if I don't leave, you're going to arrest me off of this public property.
That's correct.
Okay, and you believe that that's a legal thing for you to do?
Yes.
Okay, another question I have for you then.
Okay.
Are you aware that there's no exclusivity in this park?
There absolutely is. This is a permanent event.
There isn't.
Well, I'm not here to argue that way. That's for court. I'm just telling you what's going on.
And you're going to be sued, sir.
And that very well may be, and you certainly have that right.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, here's what I'm going to say, okay? If you trespass me off of public property,
stop for a
no.
second. She's going to trespass.
No, yeah.
And
If
then
you enforce her trespassing me off of public property, you are violating my First Amendment rights. This is a public space, and the permit only gives her the right to hold the event. It does not give her the right to trespass people off.
I'm just going off what our attorneys have.
Well, your attorney's wrong, and he's going to get sued too. You're going to get your county sued.
That's totally fine.
Okay, and I guess, so then what you're saying is that if I don't leave after they trespass me off of this place and you honor their trespass...
I'm trying to tell you how to not get trespassed, okay? They are fine with you guys being here. You are achieving your goal, all right? You are here, you're being seen, but they just don't want you in the loudspeaker. That's the problem.
We can't be heard. Their band is so loud, we'll never be able to be heard. So we have a right to be heard.
I'm trying to help out your situation. I totally respect your First Amendment right. If anybody respects First Amendment right, it's me. But I'm telling you, I have a job to do. I've been given very specific instruction, and this is what we have to do.
Okay, then can you get your chief or whoever's in charge?
I am in charge.
Okay, you're in charge. Okay, can you go get me the paperwork that says that the ordinance states that they are allowed to trespass me off of a public space?
I'm not going to provide any paperwork. I'm telling you what's going to happen.
Well, you're not the law.
All right, well, I'm here to enforce the law.
Right, and you're not enforcing the law. You're supposed to stand up for my First Amendment right to stand here.
They also have a trespass zone. Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. They have a protest zone that you can probably go and use your speaker at, as long as it's at a reasonable level, and they have it set up right over there. So would you guys be amenable to just moving your party over to their protest zone?
No. I mean, why should I move off of a public space to another public space where there's not going to be anybody at?
Well, I'm saying that they set up a protest zone. You should be well aware that's a common practice, and that would be an area where you guys could express your First Amendment rights.
This is America. We have the right to protest anywhere in public we want to.
I'm well aware this is America. I'm just telling you what I got to go on. I trust me, I'm not your enemy here. I am here to
Sure sounds like you're siding with a public permit over free speech.
I am here to mediate the situation and try to improve it. I certainly want you guys to be able to express your First Amendment right, but I also want them to be able to express their First Amendment right and their permit. So
and they are.
I am truly here to try to keep the peace. I don't want to arrest anybody. I don't want to take anybody to jail. I want you guys to be heard, but they have to be able to do their thing too, you know?
Well, when they have their band going, sir, you can't even hear our amp hardly. When they have that going, you can't even hardly hear us.
I understand.
So I don't.
But they also have the permit that, that's part of their permit. And that's why they get a permit, you know, so they can exercise control over this space.
So because they have a permit, we don't have the right of free speech right here, is what you're saying.
You have the right to free speech, but it'd be like if they rented a building.
No, hold on. Yeah, that's private. This is public.
Yeah, I understand that, but what if they rent a public building?
We've been through this before.
Yeah, I understand.
And I go all over the place and do this.
I appreciate that.
So this is not.
I'm truly not your enemy here, guy.
I know, but what I'm saying is that I understand. Like Northfield tried to say the same thing, and I walked right into the park. Owatonna tried to say the same thing, and I walked right into the park. Minneapolis tried to say the same thing. Golden Valley tried to say the same thing, and I walked straight into the park. So we already know our rights, and we also know that when our rights are violated, because right now you're saying if they don't like what I say, then they can trespass me off of here.
No, I don't think it's a matter of if they like what you say. It's that your loudspeakers interfering with it. That's the problem. They haven't made any complaints about what you're saying. It's just the speaker volume is too loud. That's the problem.
Because the first thing they said to me when they came here, the first thing they said to me was, "You can't be here." So they tried to kick me out of here right away. So that's why I have a hard time believing what you're saying, because they wanted me to move. They told me I didn't have a right to be here, and they were going to call the cops and trespass me off of this place.
Well, I will tell you, we had extensive conversation with our city's attorney on this leading up to this event in preparation for it. And what I told you is exactly the instruction that I was given. So at this point, like I said, they haven't even asked you to be trespassed. They just asked that the speaker be turned down so it doesn't interfere with this. That's all they've asked. You know, and I don't think that's unreasonable. You know, they're not even asking me to kick you out of here. The gal that's running the event said, like, I'm fine with them being there because they just turned the speaker down.
Yeah, try it over by Faribault.
And I don't think that's unreasonable. So I guess if you would do me a solid and just turn the speaker down, it'll probably help resolve it.
I mean, I'm not going to turn it off because I can't be heard. I could turn it down some, but I mean, I'm not gonna.
Why don't you start by turning it down and we'll go from there. And,
I don't mind turning it down a little bit, but you know, I don't mind turning the speaker down a little bit. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Once they start ramping that up, look, you can't even hear it.
I just ran into. Where's your flannel? We're with a whole different thing entirely. Yeah, what a joy.
Oh, you're not even with this group? You just
we're here for the same reason, but we're not with the same group.
No, they're with a different group.
Well, I mean, obviously, even without your speakers, your signs and stuff are obviously expressing, your views. So I think you're still getting the same effect.
But what they're saying, but what you're saying is if I don't comply with what they want, then they can trespass me off a public space.
That's correct.
Yeah, and I don't think that's legal.
Well, I'm just telling you what I was given, so that's where we're at.
I hope that you consult with your county attorney before you attempt to arrest me. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, my hope is that I don't have to arrest you.
Yeah. That's my hope too, because I just want to speak in the open air and not have my rights violated, because I thought I still lived in the United States. Yeah. But apparently I'm on public property, and this public property is magic compared to that public property over there, and it's not. The permit only gives them the right to hold the event. It does not give them exclusivity. They have no exclusivity. You don't have it in your ordinance where it says that they have exclusivity to be in this event. right? Right? Right, they don't have exclusivity to this. Yeah, go ahead. They don't.
According to our attorney, they do, because they've rented it, and they do have.
It doesn't say that though.
I'm just telling you what I'm told, guys. So I guess if you could start by turning down the speaker, I guess we'll cross the bridge when we get there if they want us to, or they want to trespass you. We'll go from there. So I hope it doesn't come to that, but if it does,
I hope not either, because this is a public space. So, I mean, I don't like going to court either. I don't like dealing with civil matters and suing for and having federal injunctions for civil rights either. I don't want to waste my time doing that.
Just part of the business, I guess.
It is. I mean, it is. And because the Supreme Court has already ruled on public spaces. So it's just, they've already ruled on it. But
all right, let's start with turning the speaker down a little bit. We'll go from there.
Okay. Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Loud look.